What's up, beautiful people? This is Fearfully Fit Podcast, and my goal for you is to develop a healthy mind, body, and spirit. I'm going to be sharing with you an in-depth look into how I lost over 100 pounds and had a total life transformation. I want you to be fit in all aspects of your life because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Fearfully Fit Podcast. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. The topic that I want to talk about is my first protest. And while the feelings are fresh, I just really wanted to just jump on here and record it right away. I just really wanted to express my feelings towards my experience today and just everything that went on. You guys, it was so incredibly powerful. It was so powerful. If you don't know, I live in New York, and the protest was ran by a Seventh-day Adventist church. We met up in the park, and first of all, it was super educational, and they talked about the steps that we should be doing to incite change. Because while, yes, we have emotions and we have anger and all this excitement going on right now, we need action steps. What should we be doing? Marching and chanting is needed. It's amazing. It's powerful, but that's not all. We have to take these action steps, and voting is one of them. And they broke down the different things to be voting for and why we need to vote for it and what those positions do for our community. And I thought that was super amazing. Sorry for my voice if it sounds a little raspy. I was literally screaming my head off. I was just getting so excited. The energy of the crowd was just, and the love that was there was just super amazing. And, after they gave us the education about why we should be voting and what those positions do for us, they then allowed, a few people in the crowd to speak. And there was this one man who talked about how in 1958, his father was killed in police custody. And he was 7 years old when it happened. And he said 60 years later, he's still dealing with the traumatic effects of that moment. And he said no one looked into it. He said he was just a blip in the newspaper. No one cared. No one followed up. And he said, he ended up getting into drugs and, just getting into a lot of stuff because of the traumatic effects of that event, of what happened to his father. And my heart just broke. I said, 6 years later, and here you are, old, and he had these sticks to walk, these metal sticks to walk. And I'm like, 6 years later, you're here marching for that same thing. And it broke my heart. But what was even more powerful is that the entire crowd, and it was a very sizable crowd, the entire crowd stretched out their hands and they prayed for him. It was so powerful, so powerful. And then we walked, I don't know how many blocks that we walked, but we walked and did a loop, and we were just chanting, no justice, no peace. There was one chant was really powerful. It said, "Get off our neck. We can't breathe. Don't shoot on our property. Don't shoot us on our property." And I was just like, oh my God, Jesus, like the fact that we have to even chant that. And I was talking to my friend Janessa, who was in the protest with me, who was marching in the protest. And I said, isn't it insane that, we're going to tell our kids that we had to march for equality. We had to march for justice, in the year 2020. Like I said in the previous podcast, when I think about marching, I'm just like, that's my grandparents' time. Like, we're over that. We're better than that, better than that those circumstances. We've learned from that, but look at us. We're right back here marching. And it was those two conflicting emotions, and they were so strong. One hand, my heart is broken that we have to march for this. And then on the other hand, it was so incredibly powerful. In the midst of COVID, there has been a lot of death. There has been a lot of financial struggle. But I honestly believe and my bishop said this, had preached on this today, that this was for a reset, that the world needed this reset. And I could not agree more. Even in the midst of the death and the financial struggles that people have faced, the world needed this reset. I think that, during COVID, there are no distractions. We can't go out like we used to. We can't hang out like we used to. We're not working at the same, outside of our essential workers, of course, but us as a whole, we're not working to the same extent as we used to. And so all of those distractions are taken away. And so all of that extra time and energy we're putting into these movements, and it's been beautiful. It's been amazing. It's been empowering. It's been informative. It's been uplifting. It's been what we needed. Because, I can't remember if I talked about this in the last podcast, in the last episode, but my friend was saying how he was like, what was the thing with George Floyd that made this the time for us to really put our foot on the gas? And I said, there's no distractions. All of our energy is put into this. And this is what we needed. We needed this to come together. We needed this to be more informed. We needed this reset. And that's how I'm looking at this experience. This is how I'm looking at 2020. There's so many memes going around that 2020 is canceled, but this is probably going to be my most memorable year. God is just doing so many things in me. And it's because I'm allowing him to. It's not, that I'm being resistant and, I'm just getting this change anyway. But it's because I'm being receptive. I'm like, God, I'm not going to look at this as the year that was stolen from me, or, as the year that, I had to stay in the house. But what is it that you want to do with me in this time? I'm open. I'm not just going to be looking at Netflix 24/7. I'm like, I'll shut down a certain period in my day for you to talk to me. I'm open. What is it that you want to say with me? I've been on the prayer line every single day trying to get a word from God. I'm continuing to, tune into church every single Sunday, making sure that I'm staying connected. I am continuing to just move in the way that God wants me to move, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's literally as simple as, the Holy Spirit saying, hit up so-and-so and see how they're doing. Just me being obedient to that. I'm in a space and I'm like, God, you had to shut down the entire world to do a move. And I'm like, you are not going to make this move without me. Don't do it without me, whatever you're doing. And so I urge you to not look at this as a wasted year. I know that we'll say it in jest sometimes, but just think about how the world has been shut down. God is doing something. God is doing something. Do not this year is going to go down in history. This will be in our history books. Don't allow this historical moment to pass you by and you didn't take the time to do a heart check, to do a spiritual check, to do a mental check. What is it, God, that you need to do in me for me to be a better person? Look inside. And, and even to the people who don't believe in God, even to the people who don't believe in that, you still have to, there's no way that you can think that these events are happening right now and it's not for a purpose. It's time to do, a self-evaluation. This is the perfect time. I'm not saying that you need to come out of this with a business. I'm not saying that you need to come out of this, with something tangible as far as material things, but it should be, okay, I'm coming out of this better than when I came in here. We have so much more time to reflect. We have so much more time to strategize. We can put plans in places. We can put our plan in place. Okay, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but say there's a certain place that you want to be in your career. We have so much time now to really sit down to be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are the things that I need to do. You have all the time in the world now to really research it. Like, okay, this is what I need to do to get to step B, C, D. These are the people that I need to contact. This is the time to work on our skills and our talents and really develop those. Take master classes. Instagram is just an amazing tool for connection, right? Social media, period. I'm just using Instagram because that's the tool that I find myself using the most often. And so, go to Instagram and look up master classes and look up people that are doing the things that you want to do. Observe, see what they're doing and how they're doing it. If they're offering mentorships, this is the perfect time to take advantage, you guys. I don't believe that anything is going to happen to us. I don't believe anything like this is going to happen again. And I don't believe it's going to happen in this way. You know what I mean? Where the world is just going to be shut down. I believe that moving forward, that there will be things in place. If this ever did happen again and say it was just some crazy outbreak of sickness, we will be better prepared for it. So things are not going to be so shut down. It won't. This completely took us off guard. It took us by surprise. And so I think that moving forward, we'll never be as affected as we were this time around. And so we just have to take full advantage. I'm like, God, whatever it is, I'm open. I'm listening. I'm not, feeling the time with just meaningless things that are not feeding my spirit or my mind or my heart. But I'm really seeking material out that will feed me and help me grow. Because I know I'm never going to get this time again, whether that's through books, like I said, through mentorships, through, certain master classes, through different teachings on TV, through different sermons. Lord, what is it that you're trying to say? This is, the perfect time for us to practice meditation and prayer and really just zone in on being able to be alone with ourselves. I think that this has been amazing for people who just always need to be in the mix, and you can't ever seem to find happiness with just you by yourself. This is a perfect time to grow that relationship with yourself, to see the things that you like about yourself, to write it down. I had a post, it was of my boyfriend and I on my Instagram, and just in summary, I was saying that we are so amazing. And I was specifically speaking to the Black community. And I said that right now, the world has so much to say about us. So much to say. You need to make sure that your truth is louder than their opinion. So this is the perfect opportunity during this quarantine, while things are still shut down and, while things are still quiet as far as the productivity of our nation right now, to write down the things that you like about yourself. Write down your strengths and really focus in on those things, because we're our hardest critic. Kev on stage, he's one of my favorite comedians. And he said that when he's doing a comedy show, the whole crowd will be laughing. And it'll be that one person, that one man in the far right corner with a blue hoodie, and he'll be the only one not laughing. And so the whole show, he's like, yo, I got to make him laugh. Why didn't he laugh? Oh, I must not be funny. Oh, I'm ruined. I'll never be good again. No one's ever going to laugh at my jokes, because that one person, we focus on the negative all the time. It's like our flesh points our attention to the negative faster than it does any positive. And so this is the perfect time to really transition our focus, shift it. Yes, all day long we could talk about what we don't like about ourselves, what we need to fix, but then also, what is it that is good about me? What has God put in you that is like, okay, that's amazing. What are your talents? Can you write? Are you good with comprehending? Are you good with teaching? Are you good with art? Are you good with music? Are you good with creating? Are you good with photography? You know what I mean? Are you someone who you notice that you are you're an intercessor? Maybe you're someone who it's easy for you to acknowledge when something's wrong with your friend. anything that you're able to really just focus in on and be like, okay, that's a positive about myself. That's amazing. And really see how you can grow that thing. You never know, your calling, your purpose, your career might be in that thing that's good about yourself that you don't ever take the time to focus on. Call it out, write it down, marinate on it. This is the time, you guys. I really, during the protests, one of the leaders was saying that, now is the time to apply pressure. Don't stop. Don't stop. Apply pressure. Keep that same energy. We have to, not just with the protests, but with bringing out the good in who we are. With bringing out our talents. Some of us are amazing public speakers, and we just haven't really tapped into that. We haven't bothered to really feed that and develop that part of us. The world needs it now. We have to keep that same energy, you guys, in all aspects of our lives. And that's going to be the thing that incites change. That's going to be the thing. Us really growing into the people that God has called us to be, and us nourishing our gifts and our talents, that is going to be the thing that incites change. Our public speakers, our leaders, our motivators, our teachers. We really got to begin to develop those good things in you, because we need them during this time. We need it. Don't you ever think that you are not worth it. Don't you ever think that you are not needed, that you are not essential. What God has put in you is essential. You were created for a purpose, and this world needs you. I don't care. Your purpose is not going to look like somebody else's, but that does not counteract the need for you. Okay? That does not diminish what God has put in you just because it may not look like somebody else's. We all can't be doing the same thing. I think a lot of times we get discouraged because maybe our quality doesn't look like somebody else's, or it's not manifesting its way, and it's not manifesting itself like it is in somebody else. And so we immediately disqualify it and say, okay, it's not good enough. I'm not good enough. No one cares what it is that I have in me. No, we are a body. We are a body working together, and we're going to have different functions. And it's needed. It's okay. Somebody has to be the hand. Somebody has to be the arm and the elbow and the leg, the foot, the wrist. Come on, you guys. We're a body, and we need it. The body has been breaking down because everybody is not using what it is that God has given them. Everybody is not doing their part. We're allowing other people to pick up the slack, but it's time for us to turn it up. I'm just so... Being a part of that protest was just the best thing that I could have ever did. It was so powerful. It was just a reminder that, my voice is needed, that it's time to apply the pressure. Apply that pressure. We need you. We are now at the end of another episode of Fearfully Fit Podcast. I don't know how long I'm going to carry on this season. I think this is like episode 14, I think. So I think I may go to 20 episodes and then have that be the end of season 1. But nevertheless, you guys, please stay in contact with me. You can stay in contact with me, DM me, email me. All of my information is on social media. You can reach me at somerbodyfitness, SOMER. Body Fitness. I am on Facebook as Summer Walker. You could also email me at somerbodyfitness@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Be blessed.